Assalamualaikum and a very good day to everyone. Today we are from K3 Group 1. We'll be doing a critical review presentation which is on an article that we found which is Misconceptions of Students in Learning Mathematics at Primary Level. So we are doing this presentation for our subject which is MTS 3243 Teaching and Assessment of Learning Number and Operation, Relationship and Algebra. Our group consists of 3 members, which is including me, SHAMIRA SHUHADA BINTI PADZI, and my 2 other friends, which is NOOR SHAHIDA BINTI MOHD OSMAN, and NOOR ALIFAH SAFFIYAH BINTI ZOLKARIA.
The purpose of the study was to determine the misconception that primary school pupils have about mathematics. In order to do this, an exam covering every conceptual area of mathematics from classes 1 through 4 was created using the curriculum. 8 conceptual areas: number, operation on number, fraction, operation on fraction, decimal measurement, information handling, and geometry were identified and covered in this test. SPSS was used to examine the data. Analysis was done by both item by item and gender by gender to detect commonalities in the misconception and mistake made by pupils. The researcher has held position as head teacher of several government high schools, teacher educator and trainer of mathematics instructor. Over the past few decades, there has been a significant advancement in our understanding of how youngsters develop their mathematical skills. Studies in field of psychology, education, and cross-culture studies have made significant contribution in this area, combining observational, survey, and experimental research has expanded our understanding of how youngsters grasp mathematical concepts and challenge theories about how they think and learn in different mathematical domains. Math achievement may suffer as a result of mistake and misunderstanding that student brings to the classroom from the community or that they pick up in early classes. That this obstacle can prevent pupils from continuing to master mathematical concepts. Even while certain mistakes and misunderstandings are seen beneficial, it is nevertheless necessary to correct them in order to support students' growth as their mathematical knowledge develops throughout their schooling. Consequently, it is important to pinpoint not only the conceptual area where the majority of children mistake or form false generalization, but also the causes of such error and the best way to address to correct them. This study is the result of the necessity. This idea about how students develop misconceptions are perceived by most of the empirical studies on learning mathematics. Students do not come to the classroom as blank slate, but with the theories constructed from their everyday experience. Some of theory that students use to make sense of the word are, however, incomplete half-truth, which may be called misconception. Misconceptions are a problem of 2 reasons. First, they interfere with learning when students use them to interpret new experience. Second, students become emotionally and intellectually attached to their misconception because they have actively constructed them. Hence, they find it difficult to accept new concept which is unfamiliar and dissimilar to their misconception. There are 4 research questions of this study. The first one is, what are students' misconceptions in mathematics at primary level? The second is, what are the possible causes of this misconception. The third one is how can this misconception be removed, and the last one is how can teachers help students to learn mathematics better and remove the target misconception.
So hello everyone, my name is SHAMIRA SHUHADA BINTI PADZI, and today I want to share my insight from a significant study that delves into the challenges students face in learning mathematics at the primary level. The research highlights critical issues in foundational concepts, particularly in operation, relationships, and also algebra. Let's explore the key points that I've got from this article. The first one is key challenges in mathematical learning. The first challenge revolves around fundamental concepts such as ordering numbers and understanding place value. Many students in this article struggle with this basic principle, impacting their ability to perform operation effectively. For example, the difficulty in distinguishing the magnitude of numbers hinders their progress in mathematical operation. Next is the algebra foundation. Moving on to the algebra, the study reveals challenges faced by both students and also the teachers. Concepts like expressions and equation pose difficulties, and students find it is very challenging to translate real-world problem into algebraic equation. This struggle emphasizes the need for a stronger foundation in algebraic understanding. And the next one is what is the remedies and recommendation for the study. So to address these challenges, the study recommends targeted teacher training. Teachers play a crucial role in guiding students, and the research emphasized the importance of encouraging active student participation. Connecting new mathematical concepts with existing knowledge and real-world experience is very crucial for a deeper understanding. So, in my conclusion, this study already shed light on the fundamental challenges in primary level mathematical learning, urging us to rethink our teaching approaches. It emphasized the need for targeted teacher training and active student engagement. As educators, it is our responsibility to extend beyond rote learning. We must foster a conceptual understanding that connects mathematical principle with real-world application. So next, let's moving on what I found commendable and areas that might be need improvement based on the presented article. From the positive aspect, I have identified a few of key challenges. Actually, this article effectively identifies specific challenges students face in mathematics, particularly in foundational concepts like ordering numbers, place value, and also basic operation. This clarity is very crucial for developing targeted interventions. And the next one is recommendation for remedial efforts. The study doesn't just highlight issue, it actually provides concrete recommendation, especially focusing on teacher training. This practical guidance is very essential for improving the overall teaching and also learning experience. And the last one is areas for improvement. The first one is limited exploration of root causes. While the article highlights students' struggle, actually, I see that it doesn't extensively explore the root causes of these challenges. A deeper analysis could uncover systematic issues such as like curriculum gaps or teaching methodologies, providing a more holistic understanding. And the next one is lack of diversity in sample school. The study could be strengthened by including a more diverse set of schools, considering factors like urban-rural differences or socioeconomic backgrounds. This actually would enhance the generalizability of the findings. And for the conclusion, the article is a very valuable contribution, but a more in-depth exploration of root causes and a broader sample actually could enhance its impact. The focus on practical recommendation is very commendable, and addressing the identified areas for improvement would further strengthen in relevance. That's all from me. Let's move on to my next friend, ALIFAH SAFFIYAH.
Before we start, let me introduce myself first. My name is NOOR ALIFAH SAFFIYAH binti ZOLKARIA from K3. Now, we will be moving on to the next slide, which is my personal opinion about this article. So, this article has listed a total of 42 questions consisting of various topics in mathematics subject, such as multiplication, fraction, measurement, and others. The explanation given on each question can help the reader to identify weakness and improvement that can be made so that the same mistakes are not repeated. The use of the percentage of students who can answer the question correctly or incorrectly can also help the reader to open our eyes related to this issue and not take this weakness lightly. At the end of writing the article, the writer will make a summary and separate the discussion of the error into several aspects, consisting of aspects of division, decimals, geometry, and others. So this separation of explanation is a smart way to provide a better understanding to reader and not to mix all the explanation in one paragraph. The thoughtful of using the example should also be commended as they can explain the writing in more detail. Without having a basic understanding of fraction, students have memorized denominators and numerators. For instance, the majority of students struggle to comprehend that half of bread is larger than 1/3 of bread. So they usually will say that 1/3 is bigger than 1/2 because 3 is greater than 2. We can see here that most of students are only memorize the numbers and not understand the concept of fraction. So, before moving on to the mathematical representation of fraction, teachers should get adequate training on the concept of fraction and operation on fraction, either by connecting this idea with geometrical meaning or with the daily life experience. The concept of measuring quantities that are stated in unit and subunit was not well understood by most of the students. For instance, the majority of students are having difficulty understanding how many centimeters constitute a meter and how this should be added or subtracted in the length are given in meters and centimeters. So according to the actual mistake that was exposed, majority of students do not accurately estimate quantities in daily life. To make it easier for students, teachers should use a variety of teaching methods that will expose to the student about the measurement. Let them explore by themselves about the length, weight, height, or others. For example, teacher can let them use the ruler or scales to measure something like the height of the chair, the weight of an apple, and many more. By experience this themselves, they will learn the concept slowly